What's up, guys? I just wanted to give you a quick uh, intro to this video. The reason this intro is so rough is because the first half of my YouTube video that I finally created got corrupted. The audio was out of sync with the video. I was trying to fix it. It wasn't working, so you're probably going to just get the second half of my Independence Day review. Sorry about that. I'm still working on the editing process, still trying to figure out Adobe Premiere Pro and all that stuff. So what's coming is a rough cut and weirdly edited version of my Independence Day Resurgence review. One of the worst movies I have ever seen in my life, by freaking far. So I hope you enjoy. There's more videos coming. They'll be better edited than this one. I just wanted to get one out there, get one started. So without further ado, here we go. Part of the reason this didn't work was because the world that they built, they were trying to do this thing where because of the first attacks, we had all the new technology and we were using it to better our own technology, which is a great idea. But it ended up making this world feel really unrealistic and like a world that none of us really knew. So when the destruction was happening, you're just kind of like, okay. In the first one, that didn't happen because it felt like a real movie. It felt like a real world. You're like, oh man, what the heck would I do if this spaceship came into the atmosphere and I'm just sitting here playing basketball with my homies? No, it worked. There was emotion there, and part of that was because of the world, and part of that was because of the CGI. There was such a brilliant use of practical effects in the first movie that they went away from in this movie. And it's kind of sad because I think people are starting to wise up to CGI. Moviegoers are becoming a lot smarter. We're starting to realize that CGI isn't necessarily the best. I mean, look at Mad Max, look at, say, the first scene in Jurassic Park, or not the first scene, look at the scene in Jurassic Park. Those scenes are all practical effects. Obviously they use a little CGI here and there, but it's used with the practical effects to make something beautiful. And that's something that movie makers need to realize, is that we don't want 9 million, we don't want a bunch of CGI that's just going to take us out of the movie. It gets to a point where it feels unrealistic. It gets to a point where you're just kind of like, okay, well, this is a movie I'm watching. We want to watch a movie where we feel like we're watching something that's actually happening. And that's part of where Independence Day Resurgence fails. Another reason it fails, the acting is absolutely atrocious. They had some actors in here who were supposed to be like the new age of Independence Day. They had someone playing Will Smith's son named Jesse T. Usher. They had Micah Monroe from It Follows. She was all right, but she didn't have a lot to work with. Jesse T. Usher, though, he was playing a fighter pilot, the son of Will Smith's character from the first one. And he had about as much charisma as... well, I think an oak tree would have more charisma than him. I mean, he was absolutely horrific. He had this weird friendship with Liam Hemsworth where they were always like friends but not friends, and then Liam Hemsworth is dating Micah Monroe. There's this three-way little friendship thing going on, and their scenes were boring, stupid, and I didn't care about them. Plus, they had so many characters in this movie. I mean, we're about an hour and a half into the movie, and they're still introducing new characters. They're like, oh, there's a bus of kids over here in Wendover. Oh, there's a boat over here with people on it. Oh, more characters. Which they shouldn't have done. They should have kept it to the original characters, maybe introduced a few other characters. They utilized Jeff Goldblum really well. You could tell he was kind of half-assing it the whole time, though, because it was probably just a paycheck for him. Brent Spiner was funny, a little overused. If you don't know Brent Spiner, he's the one who played the long-haired scientist in the first one. Bill Pullman was kind of crazy, and they really ruined his character. I mean, I don't want to spoil it or anything, but the way they did his story was kind of a slap in the face to what his character was in the first one. So it was pretty disappointing there. But since this is my first review, I think I'm going to fiddle around with how I'm going to be doing reviews. I'm not entirely sure of the format yet of how I'm going to do it. For now, I'm just going to do a 1 out of 10. And I'm going to fiddle around with the thing, because there's a difference between...
Oscar-type movies that you maybe want to watch again in like blockbuster movies. So I'm going to rate every movie I watched on a scale of 1 to 10. And then I'll rate it on a 1 to 5 scale based on if it's an Oscar-type movie that necessarily doesn't have a great rewatchability factor, but it's powerful, something like 12 Years a Slave, I'll rate it on a scale of 1 to 5 on a rememberability scale. I know that's not a word, but I'm going to use it anyways because it sounds awesome. And if it's a blockbuster like Captain America, Avengers, things like that, it's going to be rated on a scale of 1 to 5 on a rewatchability scale, but not a rememberability scale. That's how I differentiate between like certain types of movies that are brilliant but not rewatchable, that make you churn inside, kind of freaks you out, or just fun movies. I don't know if that makes sense. Makes sense in my mind. So, Independence Day Resurgence, directed by Roland Emmerich, starring Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman, and a hell of a lot of other people I don't really care about. I would give this movie a 0.5 out of 10. Yes, I'm not being too harsh, and yes, that is exactly the rating I would give it, because I've never been more angry after seeing... See, I'm getting angry again thinking about it. And on a rewatchability scale, 0 out of 5. I will not watch this movie again. I have about 400 Blu-rays. I will not be purchasing it for my Blu-rays. As far as I'm concerned, this is a movie that does not exist. And it's sad that they dragged Jeff Goldblum and Bill Pullman into it and used the great nostalgia of Independence Day to make a really, really, really bad movie. Oh, it was so bad. So that's my review of Independence Day Resurgence. If you liked this, you can go ahead and click like down below. Subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be uploading, for now, probably a video a week on a movie that I watch. Here soon I'm going to upload a video explaining my review process, maybe talking about myself a little bit. I'm Andrew. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.